There is no reason not to try when it comes to following your dreams. Don't be embarrassed. Everyone sucks. It's fine. Imagine if you were playing basketball, you wanted to be a basketball star, and all you ever did were exercises in the gym, like regimented lifting weights or running on the treadmill, and just doing like little basketball drills, like dribbling and stuff. Um, I mean, you might think with the introduction of basketball drills that that would make you better, and yeah, I think it would. But eventually, what you have to do is actually play the fucking game. Like, imagine if you were like, well, I'm going to become a basketball star, and for 10 years, all I'm going to do is exercises in the gym and little basketball drills. and I'm not going to play a single game. And after 10 years, I'm going to emerge a fucking star because I'm practicing this shit for 10 years. So I'll be so good on the court, you know, no one will be able to touch me. And it's like, no, you'll fucking fail because you realize you spent 10 years not even playing basketball, barely, you know. So, when you're training for something, don't forget that you have to do the actual thing. Like, yeah, like you're gonna have to spend some time like doing some exercises, Like for me right now, for vocals, like I was trying to sing really high and it wasn't really working. So I'm like, and I think you have to build up like musculature and habit, that kind of thing, and work up to that. Else you can like hurt your voice and stuff. But if you don't, if I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna like practice exercises for like a year and then I'm gonna try singing again. It's like it's not gonna work. And I don't know why I started to build the tendency to do that. I don't think that works. It's the same thing with like guitar. Like if imagine like getting a guitar and you're like, well, I'm just gonna do all the exercises. I'm gonna learn all the music theory. And then after like a year or two or five, I'm gonna finally play a song or try to write a song, and I'm gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like the best song in the world because I'll just be practicing all this theory and technique every day. This is not going to work because actually playing a song itself is a skill. Like, playing stuff on the guitar in real time is a skill. You're not doing exhibitions like of like technical stuff. And you have to actually play the guitar. You have to actually improvise. You have to actually play with other people. You have to actually try to write a song, like with what you know or like just stuff you can figure out while you're doing it. And you can look stuff up while you're doing it. That's fine. You can ask people while you're doing it, get advice, get help, and try to look at see what other people are doing. But uh, you still have to do it. Uh, so don't forget that. There's a Bruce Lee movie where he's like fighting with these young martial arts students somewhere on like some monastery or whatever. And he's like, okay, he brings a kid up and he's like, okay, show me what you can do. He's like, hit me. And then, the kid does like a very well executed kick. And it's like it's nicely executed, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't hit Bruce because Bruce dodges it. And he's like, what was that? An exhibition? And he's like, hit me. Like try to hit me. And there's other things in there. But eventually the kid arrives to like actually, fighting with Bruce. Like, or he's not doing a technique. He's not, whatever. He's really thinking about. He's in it, and he's really like trying to. Like, he's like dancing with Bruce. Like I'm gonna try to fucking hit him, you know. And then Bruce is finally like, "That's it. You got it." Like, and there's other stuff, but I think what you can glean from that is that, yeah, I don't know. Um, you have to actually do it. You have to jump in and you have to actually fight. You got to do it. Because if you don't, and you're just learning theory and information and practicing technique and stuff, but you never actually get into the ring, by the time you get into the ring, you're either going to miss your chances, you're going to get too old, right? You're going to miss your peak athletic window or like performance window because that does happen, for like everybody. I think like, you kind of peak at a certain youthful age or whatever. Um, but yeah, you're either going to miss that because I think I did. Like I missed maybe what my peak could have been, which is really sad. Because I don't know, just doing this wrong or whatever. I was afraid to mess up. I didn't want to fail. It's just stupid. Um, it's just miss opportunities that way. That or you're just not going to get good at the actual skill of actually doing the thing. You know, it's like the same thing happened to me with programming. Like I learned all this stuff, and you did a lot of exercises which mirror what you do on the job, but in order to actually get good at it, you have to be on the job. You have to actually like be doing it for a real purpose, like you're doing it for real. And it could either be, on a job or like, trying to solve some problem, whether for yourself or for others, you know, try to do something, make something cool. And that's where you learn a lot. And that is a massive struggle. And I think that's what I'm realizing. That's why it feels so painful, is because that's like always painful. It's like never not painful. It sucks. I don't know. But maybe it has to do with like you got to be doing what you want to do, doing what's relevant, doing what's needed, doing what needs to be done, doing what you think should exist, making what you think is cool. So you're enjoying it. So, but it can, yeah, I don't know. But like, yeah, where I got into trouble, like for drawing, for example, I was just like studying theory for years, doing quick sketch and stuff, like doing this one exercise, and like I got good at that. I can kind of do that, but like there's a lot more to it, man. Like you gotta do fast and you gotta do slow, and really sit there and refine. And I wasn't doing any of that because I was like, I'm wasting time, and it's like, no, I wasted time by not wasting time, by doing that time wasting thing of sitting there and really carefully trying to get everything perfect. I should have been doing that a lot, because that's much closer to actually making the stuff, making professional looking artwork. Um, I was just not doing that because it just felt painful to do. And I was just like, I need a faster way because I need to get the fuck out of where I am. I need to move. And for art and stuff, sometimes you need to just not move, be really slow and stuff. But yeah, like for singing, for example, if you spend all your time doing singing exercises and you never sing an actual song, it's probably not going to work. It's the same kind of thing. So don't fall into that trap. And if you want to be a singer and sing other people's songs, or the songs people write for you or something, sure, you can do that. You can sing other people's songs, and you'll figure out how to like riff on stuff and whatever, play with it, I guess, get creative. That's fun, maybe. But if you want to be a songwriter, for example, I think you have to study songwriting techniques. It's a skill because you're making new music. You know, you're making new music, and you're doing like you're writing lyrics. You're making something. You're making magic out of thin air, kind of. And you can study other people's techniques, how you do it, and you can study other people's music, which is probably one of the best ways to do it, because it's less of like, oh, well, this is a 4-5-1 or whatever, versus like you can like play along to another person's song and you feel everything that they're feeling. You're really in the magic vapor or whatever it is that music does to you. It's like you're in this cloud of beauty, and it gets you high, sort of. It's like you're just like you imagine all these different things, and like that there's so much knowledge there that you cannot. It's like you can't. It's too hard to write down. It's too much data, and the only thing it can be represented as is the thing itself. And maybe somebody will be able to, and over time will just be able to describe it better and better and better. But the best way to describe it is to just like you have the description, and then you have the actual doing of the thing, and they kind of like we're trying to describe it and we're trying to actually do it, and at some point maybe we'll be able to hit here, and then someone will create something new, and I don't know, hard to describe. I don't fucking know. I try not to be so like, oh, it's all magic, you can't figure it out. It's like, well, maybe you can. I mean, we have AI that's has the data and it's figuring it out, it seems. So it is quantifiable or whatever that phrase is. But I think like in terms of how our brains work, how our human physiology works, our human machine, a human construction, it seems like you have to like for music, you have to like play along to other people's songs. You got to do it. Like really play it and listen and play along and learn their parts. And that's how you get pretty good. You get pretty good pretty fast at doing that kind of stuff. And probably like, because I was always bad at songwriting, and probably if I just tried to write a song every single day, I might be really good by now. Because I was doing that, and I did get better over time, and it took a while, but I did get better. It's like you just have to like try, and you have to just understand that you're gonna have no idea what you're doing. You have to just try to do it. It's like jumping into a fucking abyss where you cannot see what's in front of you. You just can't, and that's kind of scary, especially if you don't want to mess up and you have something good going. You don't want to fuck it up. You don't want people to think you suck or something. Well, that's probably gonna happen. Um, you can get over that maybe by just like play a bunch of random notes on the guitar and purposefully sound really bad. And then you might find that there's actually some beauty in what you just did. Like you hit some random note combination, and you're like, oh, that sounds good. But you don't know unless you try it, and then you think back afterwards. Maybe that's the thing that I struggle with, where it's like you have to try it and just see what happens, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I think for some people they're like, no, don't do that, like because I think you're going to mess everything up or something, which is kind of crazy because it's like you can't create anything new with something like that. You just do what has been done before. Um, and even what has been done before, there could be new things to improve upon that, to make it better. Because I think that's really what it is. It's a constant refinement of getting better and better and better. It's striving towards perfection, even though you'll never reach it. And maybe we never will, but like you have to strive towards it anyway, because that's how you make really good stuff, and that's how you make advancements in anything. You just keep making things better and better and better because you're trying to make everything perfect, and it'll never make anything perfect. That's what they say, right? But like, because it's a calculus. Like you're approaching the limit, you get closer and closer to zero, but you never hit zero. I think that's the limit, right? That's a mathematical concept. And I think that's the same kind of thing with like making stuff and doing things. You'll never hit perfection. You can only get closer to it. But the people who get closer to it, they make really cool shit. And after a while, it's like they could be riding far above where you are or far above where everybody else has ever been before. And you're like, whoa, like they're perfect, they're amazing. And they'll tell you, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. There's still things that I identify that I can improve upon. All right, I still want to see where this can go, that kind of thing. And he'd be like, they're fucking crazy. And it's like, yeah, well, those are the people that win Grammys and stuff. And I don't know, just to make amazing things. But yeah, but don't forget to do it. There's all this like exercise. You need to practice your scales, and it's like, I would probably say, I mean, maybe I'm one to talk because I feel like I plateaued, but um, don't sit there and practice scales all day. You devote some of your day to doing stuff like that, and then devote another portion of the day, studying like, heavy metal sweep picking, whatever the fuck. And I mean that's it has a lot of regimented practice to it. But you could do that and like, put on some fucking blues and like play along to Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page is sloppy as hell. He was, I don't know if he still is, but like, who cares? He sounds good. It sounds awesome. It's fucking great. Um, play along to that shit. Try to figure that out. And like, that is not, well, you're wasting time. You're not doing what you need to do. You're not practicing your C major scale. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm learning how to play Jimmy Page, and check it out. I can actually play like him now. Is that not amazing? It's like, yeah, but you can't play your C major scale. It's like, fuck you and your C major scale. If I can play Black Dog perfectly, that's amazing. It's much more amazing than a C major scale. And that's the kind of shit that's going to get you a job. That's the kind, you whip out a C major scale on stage, no one's going to care. They're going to be like, wow, woo. You play fucking Black Dog like crazy. You completely nail some awesome fucking Zeppelin solos or whatever. That's going to sound good. People are going to think, wow, okay, well, he can actually play. And then if you say, no, he can't because he doesn't know his C major scale, that is false. It's fucking wrong. Because by learning something like a Jimmy Page tune, it's not like I'm fucking old. I am old. You're gonna learn so much more doing that versus like, just you know, you're gonna learn so much more doing that versus like if you're just like practicing scales or something. Oh, but I know all the music theory. It's like, okay, well, can you like play me a song? Does it sound good? And that doesn't mean don't learn technique. It doesn't mean that it won't help you, because it can. Um, but just don't forget the don't lose sight of the forest for the trees. Don't do that. And then that's something I really hated about a lot of like typical American education, for example. It's just like it's very much like, trees for the forest kind of shit. They you lose sight of the big picture so quickly, and it's like, okay, well, we're gonna learn this like really shitty song. I remember like I had like piano teachers or whatever, and not trying to knock them. One of my first piano teachers was really nice, um, but it's like she was really nice, but it's like, you can think of it as like, I do this regimented thing. It's like I do this exercise or whatever. Okay, very good, and then like that will tell you like you're at a certain kind of level. But then like other times like you can just like whip out this song, and it sounds like you're a lot further along than people thought. And that happened to me. Whereas like, I was like, I wasn't really practicing on these exercises on my free time. I was like learning music I liked, like Ben Folds and stuff. Ben Folds 5, like that kind of shit. Um, and like figuring out this stuff by ear. It's like, why do I have to like do all this technique shit so early? It's so annoying. Like because I can figure stuff out just by listening to it. Like, why can't I just do that? And maybe most people can't, or a lot of people can't, but like you got to do that. That's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that is, I would say, probably like that's the bulk of how I learned things. And there's a lot of famous, successful, professional musicians who have money, who have written incredible songs that you may know, who will say this to you. I don't know a lick of theory. I don't know how to read music. Nothing. How they learned is they played along to the music that they liked. And there's something about that. It doesn't mean you can't learn any theory. It's just, what I'm trying to say is that these people did things a lot quicker and went a lot further without any technique at all. So I would, and it's possible they do know it, they just know it in a different way, right? Or some aspects of it. So, and don't listen to these fucking naysayers who just seem to just ignore you, and they try to gaslight you to think, oh, you need to learn how to do music theory and read music notation. I'm not even going to pay attention to you unless you can like, read a piece of sheet music if I put it in front of your face. Because the people have gone on to win Grammys, and they don't know how to read any of that. So ignore, and those people are just fucking jealous assholes, and they don't even get anywhere either. And you have to listen to them and say like, well, are you even a musician? Have you even gotten anywhere? Where's your Grammy? And they'll get mad at you because they get defensive because you called them out.